Hello. Okay. So a few questions from what I posted yesterday about the month, and that it's still the yang water and the wood of the year. And let's put the confusions to rest. So when we have the year that is water, water is actually unpredictable. It what water does is it's supposed to bring in good leaders. You know what that means? It's it's also wisdom, it's intelligence, it nourishes everything. Okay, we are not being nourished at the moment, and so that's why um, it's not working. Water is supposed to flow. Water has that depth. So when water has a depth, it means internal. So you're all going internal. You're not meant to go internal because then it causes other issues. You're meant to just communicate this very, very well. And when water is associated with emotions, so let it all out, that kind of thing. Otherwise, it brings the fear in, the stress in, the nervousness. All right, that's the year. Um, I don't say this sort of stuff in a workshop. I just touch on it in point form. But because, there's a lot of questions here about what is water then in whatever it is. So how do you move forward? Because water is that you feel the sensitivity, you feel the needs and the moods of others. Especially if you're going to a march or driving somewhere, you feel all of that, and then you become anxious as well. So writing is a good way to move forward because it's writing is like that. It's like calligraphy, it's all that. So that's water. Okay, so you're honoring what the year is and you're writing. So why don't you write your own story? Because wisdom, all of the past, as in what that water is, the three solid lines of that water, and it holds them all together, holding the line. Those three, heaven, man, earth, is also the past, present, and future. And so that past, present, and future for you, it's kind of like you're lending an ear to somebody or you're listening to somebody so you can pass it on, not in one ear and out the other, that kind of thing. Okay. What's the other one? Actually, also, water is intuitive, it's hormonal. So, that time of the month type thing. And you're seeking, what you are doing is you're seeking truth. When you do seek truth, uh, then there's knowledge with truth. All right, that kind of thing. With water, it's about finding ways. So you find a way with your community, part of your community. You make something also happen. All right. With the wood is really about being that oak tree, headstrong. It's also about common sense. You stand up and fight. You're persevering, very assertive, um, very direct, and direct, though not to a point like metal is direct. The directness actually comes from not being in tune and not being sentimental. That's where the directness then comes from. There's no compromise, that kind of thing. What the wood is very determined and keen to improve their lives. Do you understand how the year is? And that's why people are doing what they're doing. It also, with wood, the tree, under how much pressure, or the flower, under how much pressure it springs back up. So you will spring back up. You'll spring back up very versatile. You'll have many skills. Everybody has a skill. It's time to bring that skill out and show it to everybody. Wood is also like the pioneer, making ice cream or sliced bread or the tire or something like that. So find what it is that you make and then do it. And wood is about seeking freedom and loving freedom. You have this outgoing personality because if you think of wood as a tree, it keeps growing a branch here and a branch here, and that's freedom. Yes. And keep in mind, though, also, uh, you know, because of that wood is in one place, it can't flow, it can't move, yet it still will grow a branch. And that's where we are here in Victoria. We are that energy of stuck, no flow, negative relationship energy. So when we have that in a place, and it's called also the wind in the trigrams, in the Tao, it's called the wind. What does the wind bring? It brings other people, so immigrants, migration, all of that. And yes, some will take our jobs. That is actually how it works. Um, so I got bitten on this cheek and I got bitten on this cheek. So it's kind of itchy. I put stuff on it. Remember though, there's no metal this year. And what you've also got to remember is a flower blooms and then loses its leaves. Think of that, and then you'll come through all over again. Same with a tree. A tree loses their leaves every year. And then what happens is that tree will stand tall and wait for better days to come. All right. So if you learn and listen from generations, that's the water, three generations. Yeah. There's, you know, I have a family friend that saw me once at a traffic light and said to my sister, "What the F is she smiling about at a traffic light?" There's always a reason to smile. Anyway, all right, the other question is, okay, so I've spoken already about that. I've covered that. Okay, so the learn and the listen. The water is listening as well. When you are communicating, it is about listening. And I spoke about that in the workshop that much. So you're listening. It's not going in one ear and out the other like it has in the past couple of years. It's going in and you are listening. You're taking it deep, but you're not leaving it there to manifest into something. You're then communicating it. And this is why show your community, go into a community. What you've been through is going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. I can go on and on about that. But the thing is, it's up to you. Okay. So, yes, we are stuck. And when will he be removed? He won't be removed. He can't be removed. He's waiting to give himself another pay rise. So remember, vote, vote, vote. That's the only way. I can tell you that now. The other is about, I talked about saving the children in the workshop. Think of what's in the news basically, because everyone sends me what's going on. So you guys have TVs. Look at that. People are having their babies in the car parks because the hospitals won't let them in. People are having their babies in waiting room. How is that okay ever? Ever? How is that okay? Okay, babies, children, that sort of thing. And so, there's people that are content, and then it makes people content or overwhelmed. It's up to you what you want to basically, if you're not making somebody else feel a little bit better, then you know I don't know, maybe I'm not going to say you're wasting your time, but you're wasting a lot of energy if you can't make somebody feel better. And that's really how it is. All right, as I said, the year is here to remind you that water is those three levels. It's past, present, future, and the past is actually being wiped out. Eventually, you go to the library to get something about the past, and it's been removed. It's already happening in Google. So, yeah. But what you've got to remember this year is the water feeds the wood, and the wood is about growing. So, grow, do something and grow. And yes, recovering. How are we going to recover from this? Put the effort into it, really. That's how you will recover. What I want to tell you is I can't believe, firstly, there is no metal this year, so there's nobody to tell you what you can and can't do this year. So that's brilliant. Water, as I have said in the workshops, is karma. So karma comes back to clean the slate, the same as that yang water, which is tsunami water. All right. So really, wake up, people. Smell the crap that's happening. And I can't say who it is, but there is a program that people are going into because every time they get ill, they think it is COVID. It's a long-term COVID program to see what COVID did. Can you believe that? Well, it's there. All right. So the human factor here is being pushed, and nothing on this planet basically gives the government the right, immorally, illegally, all of that. Eventually, whatever happens, every time there are dictators, they are hunted down and justice will be served. But we all want it now. And that's what the wood is. The wood is like impatient. And that's why you're feeling impatient. You're breathing that in. And that's why you're feeling that way. So breathe 3 breaths. I showed you in the workshops 3 breaths. And you can't, for people that are doing this, those at the top, you can't say, I was just following orders, because the Nuremberg thing does not acknowledge that anymore. You're going to cop it no matter what. And look at all those people that, were under Hitler. They all got what they deserved in the end. So all of you in charge here, anywhere in the world, and are not taking care of your people, then yeah, it will find you. The genocide that you knowingly and willingly have committed, karma is this year. So I do not feel anything for any of those people. Cease and desist. Isn't that the word for it? Okay. How do I feel? All right. You know what? I don't really feel anything. The way I see it is, I can go to a nightclub, suck face, and get lucky, but I can't go to a doctor. You think about that yourself. So what I want you to do, though, like I said, whatever we're going through, we're going through it. We're all going through it. Exactly. You have to find a way, like water does, like that river finds a way to the ocean, to the masses. You've got to find a way. You all have something you want to do. Do it. That's what I'm telling you. Start writing your life. I'm writing my life, and a lot of people aren't going to be happy about it, but tough titties. And the other thing is, what I wanted to say is, this month of March, which starts tonight at 10. Well, it's 11:45 because we're an hour ahead in Victoria, but everywhere else it's 10:45 p.m. When that starts, you need to write things down anyway, because March, remember I said February is 2022, doubled up. That's why you're all feeling that fierceness of a tiger, that water, like that. What March is 2023. So write things down that happen to you, even if it's point form, so that you understand what you've got to deal with before 2023 comes along, because you don't want to repeat it. All good? I've answered everything. Yep. Oh, what I was talking also about in the workshop is, in the center of every home, there's a void where spirits, ghosts, entities, and all of that. And if you don't cure that, then it attaches to you, because we are all vulnerable at the moment. It gets the weakest, that kind of thing. And so apparently there are 2 songs now in the top whatever, and they are about ghosts. You've just got to look at what's going on. So the warriors, the heroes, they're your neighbors who have driven wherever or have gone somewhere to march for us. All right. Enjoy the month, but write down. All right. I know it's noisy.